This is Game Chat with Bwana, your source for gaming news and reviews. Here's your host, Bwana McCall.
Hey guys, welcome to Game Chat with Bwana, episode 13. This is March 21st, 2011. This is Game Chat with Bwana. We do this every Monday night at about 8 o'clock p.m. 8 o'clock p.m. So it's about 8:21 p.m. Tonight I actually said I was going to start at 8:30 p.m. So I'm a little bit earlier than I said I was going to start, but I started later than I usually start every week, which is a little bit later than 8 o'clock, so it's between 8 and 8:30. So it's about 8:21, so I'm technically on time. I don't care what you say. I am on time today at Game Chat with Bwana. And what we do at Game Chat with Bwana is that we talk about the latest game stories, and it's not limited to any console, not limited to the PC platform. It's not limited to handhelds, not limited to any particular game. So we cover the whole breadth of everything. We just cover the entire landscape, the whole enchilada, the gigantic planular stuff about games. And we got about 15 stories today to talk about. So once I talk about those stories, you guys will get a chance to submit your stories. Now go to the link in our topics, type !topic, and we have a forum thread going where you can submit your own stories. Now what I ask you to do is that you submit your stories that are not in the list that I have already provided. So Game Chat with Bwana, episode 13. We're going to be getting started really shortly right about now, right about open here. But we are going to talk about some PC gaming news. And we're going to start with Crytek. And Crytek is one of those companies that's getting a lot of bad rap lately. They are, I don't know, they once were the PC darlings. They were like, okay, you console gamers, you guys can, have the numbers, you can have all the people, you guys are getting like first party titles, you guys are you're getting ported first, you're getting written for first and then ported to PC. But we as PC gamers has Crysis. You cannot touch the Crysis. You cannot touch the Crytek engine on your measly consoles. But now you can. So Crytek Crysis is now going to be on the console. So it's actually one of those things that's kind of bittersweet. The console gamers want Crysis. They're going to get it. PC gamers no longer have anything to say, hey, we only have this and you has nothing. But there's a silver lining here. According to this story, Crytek is considering free distribution of the Cry engine in the form of a dev kit so that we can make mods. Now this is why people love PC gaming. This is one of the hallmarks, one of the foundations of a lot of games you guys are playing today. The engines that you guys are using to play games were founded on a lot of these principles called mods, where people would take an existing mod, hack it, transform it, come up with better ways to utilize it, and come up with a totally different game. And it's very cool to see that Crysis, a very pretty engine, probably one of the prettiest engines out there. So this was a recent interview with Develop. The co-founder, Anvi Yearly, he talked about the possibility of releasing this SDK. And he says that they want to release a specific SDK, that's a software development kit, for the mod community. Adding the barriers for entry will be very low and perhaps free, which is very cool. They said they do have a business model in mind for this, but they can't go into details. But it's going to be very user friendly. This is something that I applaud. Yay, Crysis, Crytek, you guys awesome. If they do this. Now, if they don't do this, it's going to be like Boo. Boo! We're going to be all in their faces with thumbs down because you didn't give us the mod engine that you promised, or you didn't promise, but you kind of promised. If you probably wouldn't have said this, let's say Crytek doesn't deliver this mod, this SDK. They don't deliver it. They're probably going to be in a lot of hot water. Because they'll be like, you guys strongest law, thinking that you're going to give us mod community something to build mods off the Crytek engine. You promised. No, we didn't promise. We said that. But you said it. You promised. You promised. No, we didn't promise. We said that we would actually consider. No. I have the website right here. I'll Google it right now and show you right now where you clearly state that you are going to provide a mod community SDK so that we can provide mods for our people. And then they will probably get a lot of bad PR about this. So, Crytek, considering a free distribution of the CryEngine for the mod community. Check it out, guys. This is over on joystick.com. And they got the details right in that there vicinity over there. Now we're going to talk about something cool, as if that wasn't cool enough. First-person Mario. Now, I saw something similar to this in the form of a Half-Life mod. And when I first saw this story, I was like, is this the same thing as that mod? It was like a Half-Life, half-done Half-Life mod where they had Mario in first person. It was like a 3D version of it. But no, this particular story is made in, this particular video was made in 3ds Max, which is a piece of modeling software and animation software and stuff. So you gotta go and watch this video. Go to our forum. All the links are listed on that link there. If you watch this video, it actually shows in the top left screen, it shows the 2D version of Mario, and you also get a perspective of the 3D version, this new version, in 3D. And it's very, very cool. I like how they did it. Now, the one thing I didn't kind of care for was the Call of Duty type pop-ups. They had all these different achievements pop up, like make it rain, like you see in the screenshot here, collect 10 coins, and I think they had pole dancer when you jumped on the flagpole at the very end, and all these little achievements, which kind of are indicative of the newer games today. But they could have did without that. They really could have did without that part. But otherwise, this was a very, very well made video. I think you guys should go check it out. First person Mario. I would definitely buy this. They could put this on the TurboGrafx 16 and I'll run on eBay and buy one and play it. It's just that good. If you look at it, you're like, man, this is something that I would definitely play. So if Nintendo's watching this, or anybody's watching this, you probably should consider making this game. Because the Mario levels aren't terribly complicated. And if you can, make a basic 3, you could probably take one of the free engines out there. Maybe the Quake engine, maybe the Crytek engine. Now, there's a segue. What a twist! You can take the Crytek engine and make a first-person Mario. Very, very cool. Check it out, guys. Also, Joystick has this story right here. Very, very cool first-person Mario right now. Next story, we're going to continue on the PC gaming storyline, and we're going to talk about EA. EA, and as you all know, or may not know, if you don't know, are you living under a rock? EA and Activision have this big rivalry going on. I mean, it's probably bigger than what Microsoft and Apple were back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. Probably bigger than, the cell companies now, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint. Bigger than Sony and Nintendo, and bigger than I can't say Microsoft. Yeah, bigger than Microsoft. EA, Activision, they are definitely the titans right now. These are two multi-billion dollar companies that are fighting in the ring. Fisticuffs going on in the business world. And, I got about 3 stories here. I'm going to talk about that little rivalry. That some stories came out this past week, which kind of have to do with that. All right, the first one has to do with Old Republic. The Old Republic. This is the brand new MMO that EA is going to be coming out with by way of BioWare. And they're definitely going to push the Star Wars IP. And what they're saying in this story is that they have 1.5 million beta tester applicants. So this is kind of a gauge of the interest, that they're kind of talking about here. Now, when I first saw the number, I was like, okay, there's probably a small percentage of those gamers that actually want to beta test. I'd probably say about probably under 1 million want to actually beta test it, meaning that they'll test it, submit feedback, make it get better. The other 1 million will probably just want a free game or an early sneak peek at a highly anticipated Star Wars game. Because, as I've stated many times before, betas are the new demos. And I said it last show, and I've said it elsewhere. Betas are the new demos. So this is 1.5 million people that want a demo. Even though technically the term beta doesn't coincide with demo. Betas are the new demo. So check it out, guys. This is a story. They're saying that 1.5 million people signed up for the beta test. It's a great indicator. This is a quote from Brown. What's his name? CFO Eric Brown. It says, it's a great indicator in the interest level in the franchise. And then he goes on to say, for us, it's about creating a right experience for expanding from tier 1 to tier 2, blah, 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 some other quotes and stuff. So, Joystick makes a good point at the end of this article, and something that a lot of people hate. A lot of these people who applied probably aren't going to meet the minimum PC specs. They're probably barely playing World of Warcraft right now on a toaster with 3 legs. And the toaster with 3 legs is spitting all kinds of sparks, and and just fluids are coming out of the toaster, and toasters are not supposed to make fluids. So somehow your toaster is making fluids. Fluids are coming out, and it's about to explode. And they want to play the old Republic. And they're gonna go, well, I can play WoW on my toaster with 3 legs, and then that's leaking fluids. Well, you better hope. Better hope your PC can handle it. This is over on joystick.com. EA, 1.5 million beta tester applicants. Now we're going to continue on that EA storyline. And this whole, like I said, this rivalry is huge, guys. And you're going to hear a lot more from it, because these two are in court over the whole Call of Duty thing. And the whole, not Danger Close, but Respawn Entertainment. The founders, the head guys at Infinity Ward went to EA, and they're all in court about this whole thing. So this next story is over on Escapist Magazine, and EA, they state that EA is betting that bashing, meaning that talking negatively about World of Warcraft, will sell more of the Old Republic. So this is not exactly what they're saying. I mean, if you read the article, I mean, the title's a little bit sensationalist. When you read the article, they're basically saying that their game is going to differentiate itself from World of Warcraft. I didn't really see an exact quote that they're bashing it. Here's the quote. He says, "It's a big bet for my label and for EA." This is Gibbo. This is Frank Gibbo. He's head of EA Games. That governs Tor, which is the Old Republic. He says that I love Blizzard products, but they're not the entire market. This is an opportunity to come in with a new IP. When I play World of Warcraft, here's what a quote-unquote bashing is. When I play World of Warcraft, you go and get your quest, you go and do your quest, but it feels like you're doing a shopping list at times. At times, that statement is true. He worded it perfectly. He said, the Old Republic is more about talking to characters, learning what's going on, investing in it, and getting emotionally attached to it. So, you can call that bashing. I call it just selling your game. I really don't think, I don't know. He says, on multiple levels, we're highly differentiated from and different from World of Warcraft. We're not being slavish or imitating them at all. We're doing our own thing. We're doing our own unique way. BioWare and Blizzard have been around for almost the same period of time. They built incredible audiences. They have their own unique cultures, and they do things very differently. Nowhere is that bashing. He's complimenting them at the same time. So it's a very politically correct statement, and it's very accurate, I think. I think sometimes, at times, World of Warcraft, and any MMO, it does feel like you're doing a laundry list. You're like, okay, I got to go kill 5 pigs. I got to go pick up this thing. I got to go heal these 10 people. I got to run around the thing. I got to touch this thing. I got to kneel at this thing. I got to do this. You know, it's like a laundry list. And granted, when I played the beta of Rift, you know, the latest MMO I played, I didn't read hardly anything. I was just like, okay, what do you want me to do? Bye. Okay, I'm back. Give me my goop. Give me my loot. All right. What else do you want me to do? All right, hurry up. I want to get to the next area. Give me. You know, you don't really care about the story. It's more about the level progression. So that's where EA says that Tor is going to differentiate themselves. And BioWare does a great job of telling stories in their games. So it's not without water. It's not, you know, it's not a statement that's inaccurate. If one company could do it, it is BioWare, and which is one of the EA subsidiaries, or EA. I think EA is just going to publish it. So, anywho, you got the big EA Activision, World of Warcraft versus Tor. Those are going to be the big money makers for these. Ow, that hurt. They're going to be the 2 big money makers for these companies. Check it out, guys. This is over in Escapist Magazine. And finally, this is another thing that has to do with kind of Activision. And this is talking about Blizzard's pro-cannibalism. Now, don't let the headline fool you. They're not talking about cannibalism, real cannibalism. They're talking about their, you know, the possibility of their own titles cutting into, you know, future titles. Or I'm sorry, the other way around. Future titles cutting into their existing titles. Basically, Blizzard, Frank Pierce from Blizzard, the co-founder, says he's kind of worried about Diablo 3. And he's got a point. The past BlizzCon, I watched it virtually, a lot of it virtually. A lot of the interest was not in World of Warcraft. A lot of the interest was not in StarCraft 2. A lot of the interest was in Diablo 3. Let's just say that just about everything having to do with Diablo was packed to the rim. Everybody wanted to know about Diablo. So there's a high level of anticipation for Diablo 3. Now, he's a little bit worried, and I got to admit, he's absolutely right. He says that, here he goes. He says, blah, blah, blah. I think even a short-term concern is whether or not we might see cannibalism of WoW players from Diablo 3 when we launch it, because it's a similar type experience. It's not exactly similar, but it has that RPG feel. It says it's better that we cannibalize them ourselves than let somebody else do that. Because if we cannibalize them ourselves, they're still a Blizzard customer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is blah, 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 blah. So, I think everybody who talks about WoW, everybody who talks about, you know, the race between MMORPGs, has kind of come to the conclusion that there's not going to be a WoW killer. WoW's going to, I think everybody's been saying it, I've been saying it too, WoW's going to have to kill itself. And in essence, Blizzard will have to kill itself. Blizzard will have to, you know, do something drastic or stop WoW or come out with a new MMO, the Titan MMO, and Diablo 3. So that's kind of going to be the only way that WoW dies. And if you don't believe that, I'm sorry, but to me, I have a strong belief that that's the case. Even though I love Rift, I even got a Rift poster behind me. Rift is a great MMO. Lots of fun things to do. It's not going to kill WoW. Guild Wars 2, Guild Wars 2, everybody's highly anticipating it. Oh my goodness, it's going to be such a this, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be great. No, monthly fees, it's going to be a full-on persistent world, it's going to have everything, it's going to do everything different, but it's not going to kill WoW. I hate to burst your bubble. It's not going to kill WoW. It's going to take a lot of people from it, but, you know, it's like heroin. People are going to go back. Yeah, people are going to go back to WoW. You just watch. So, the only thing that could probably do it is Blizzard, and I absolutely agree with this particular article. So check it out, guys. This is over on joystick.com. They got the details over there.
Game Chat with Bwana is recorded live before a worldwide audience every Monday night. You can participate by suggesting news stories. Just register an account in our forums at bwana.tv/forums.
Now, we're going to move on to our next story, which is kind of related to PC gaming. Kind of related. But it's kind of sad when you look at it. I'm kind of sad, guys. Bwana's sad. Bwana is sad. Sad Bwana is sad. Ubisoft. Oh man, Ubisoft may have pirated their own soundtrack. Yep. This is the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood PC soundtrack, and basically some user found that that the soundtrack that came packed with the collector's edition of the game looks like it was taken from a pirated copy. Someone looked at the tags in the soundtrack, and it was encoded by a pirate. I don't even know where to start with this, because number one, what are you doing with a pirated copy of your own soundtrack of a game you made, and why would it be released and included as a bonus with the with the collector's edition? Well, the world may never know. This is one of those stories that, you really just look at, and I don't have any commentary for it. It's just stupid. Why would you do that? Why? Check it out, guys. I don't have much to say about it. Go to arstechnical.com. Oh man, they got the details about Ubisoft pirating their own soundtrack. I don't even know where to start. Still on PC news, we're going to move on about some Steam news. Steam Guard is now available to everybody. And we talked about this on the previous show of Game Chat. Well, I almost said Bwana.org radio. We talked about this on the previous version of Game Chat with Bwana. And we talked about Steam Guard and the possibility of having the hardware stuff. And it turns out that it's going to be available to everybody. And they don't have the hardware checks in place yet. So it's not going to take advantage of the Intel identity, blah, blah, whatever it's called. But it's going to kind of be similar if you've used the Facebook service, where it kind of notifies you about what machine you're logging on to. If you log on from a different machine, it emails you and lets you know. Steam Guard is very, very similar to that now. So if you enjoy the kind of Facebook protection that they have in place, you might want to sign up for Steam Guard. You can check out this story over on Valve's own site on steampower.com. They give you a link on how to protect your account, how to activate it. It's not activated by default, so you're just not going to magically see something pop up. But what you will see is new sections that you can enable Steam Guard. So check it out, guys. Very, 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 very cool thing, because a lot of Steam accounts are getting stolen, and a lot of these kids are using cheats, which they harvest Steam accounts. If you see a cheat public, like there's some Homefront cheats that are out publicly, don't download them, because they're gonna probably get your Steam account and steal it, and they're gonna get your games, and you're gonna be locked out. People get keyloggers installed on their machines, and it harvests their Steam account, gets their password, and that's a lot of money. People are sinking thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into Steam games, and it's all behind one password. One password is all it takes to get access to all of those games. So it's a single point of failure that you have to guard with a lot of protection. So Steam Guard is another level. It gives you another level of protection. So you might want to seriously consider looking at it. Now, I was a little bit skeptical because I didn't like the hardware stuff that they were talking about, because if that's buggy, I could be the victim of a bug and then say, okay, you're in a machine that I don't recognize, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm on my machine, and all of a sudden you're locked out of your Steam account and you got to wait 2 weeks for Steam to fix it. I ain't doing that. So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical about it. But otherwise, you guys should check it out. Go check it out right now. SteamPower.com. They got the details. Speaking of Valve, this is one of those stories where you go, well, don't do it, Valve. Don't do it. Valve thinks it might be fun to remake Half-Life. And when I first read this, I was like, do you know how many nerds will personally take a trip to Valve headquarters and punch Gabe Newell in the face if he remakes Half-Life? You know what they're going to say after they punch him? Where's episode 3, Gabe? Why are you remaking Half-Life, Gabe? Why won't you just make episode 3, Gabe? Now, I know this is part of an interview. They're not stating that they might do this. They were kind of confronted about it. They said that, let's see. He says, no, I don't think we just invent new stuff. This basically, when asked if a Half-Life remake would include the game's original cut content. So they were kind of thrown in the corner with this question. He says, no, I think we'd invent new stuff. I mean, there's much better game developers and designers and developers that we have back then than we had back then. You have an unlimited amount of opportunities, blah, 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 blah. Says it'd be fun to think about the stuff, but always you're better moving forward than you are looking back. So he ends it basically saying that, it'd be fun to do, but, Valve is always looking forward. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to do it, guys, but when I read it, I was like, are you crazy, Gab? Focus on Portal 2. Get that out the door, because you got a lot of gamers anxiously anticipating that. I will be buying the PS3 version myself, so that I'm going to buy the PS3 version so I can have both copies. Because when you buy the PS3 version of Portal 2, you get the PC version for free. Yeah, I talked about that on the previous show of Game Chat with Bwana, that the Portal 2 is going to have Steam Play. You just got to buy one copy. If you buy the PS3 version, you get the PC version. It's going to be awesome. Cool. Hurry up. Anyway, the Escapist Magazine has this story. Check it out, guys. They got the details over there. So, we're going to move on to our next story right after this.
Please support Game Chat with Bwana by turning off your ad-blocking software.
Now we're going to talk about World of Tanks. You guys ever heard of this game, World of Tanks? So many people. Oh my goodness, so many people. Bwana. I think I lost count of like 20 people. Because I'd be playing like Minecraft. I think it was back when I was even playing Black Ops. Whew, man, that was a long time ago. People like, hey Bwana, have you played World of Tanks? I'm like, what? Have you played World of Tanks, man? It's awesome. Gotta go try it. And don't ask me how I know they were talking like that through text, because they were typing it. But I'm quite sure that's how they would say it if they saw, what did you see? World of Tanks? We got World of Tanks. You gotta go watch the World of Tanks. We got tanks over here, boy. World of Tanks. World of Tanks. There's a high interest, and the people who are playing this are very, very adamant about the game. Check it out, guys. World of Tanks is finally launching on April 12th. April 12th. Now this article on Rock Paper Shotgun says, after an open beta just lasting 500 years, I don't know how long the beta was. People have been talking to me about this for a while, though. It's going to be released in North America and in the EU on April 12th. So you guys go check it out. Check out this article. But you can still play in the open beta, I believe. Yeah, you can still play in the open beta. They got links here. So you can play in the World of Tanks open beta until April 12th. Just to decide, use it as a demo like everybody else. No, but I'm telling you, man, betas are the new demo. And it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. So betas are the new demo. Check it out. World of Tanks finally launching on April 12th. Rock, Paper, Shotgun has the story over here. Now we're going to move on to Zynga. You guys remember me talking about Zynga last time? They were saying that your mom is the new hardcore gamer. And I was like, don't you talk about my mama. Yeah, go back to Game Chat with Bwana, episode 12 if you want to relive that moment. But now Zynga, they ain't done. Not only is your mom a hardcore gamer, oh no, but Xbox Live is too small a demographic. It's too small. Ugh. Xbox Live. Ugh. 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 Xbox Live is too small. Hey, he said it, and you gotta hear what he says. Listen to what he says. He says, "This is Reynolds, Brian Reynolds. He is Zynga's chief game designer. He says Xbox Live's too small of a demographic. Think about it." He says, "Think about of my friends. How many of them own an Xbox 360?" And I went to thinking about my friends. I'm like, how many of my friends own an Xbox 360? All of them? No, I'm joking. A lot of them. And he says, well, I'm a game developer, and I even come from a AAA space. So we might even be in the double digits. 20 or maybe 30% of my friends might have an Xbox 360. But here's the kicker. Here's what he says. Effectively 100% of them have Facebook. And effectively 100% of them have a mobile phone. I was like, okay, now you're starting to make a little bit more sense. And he says, of them, probably 90% of them have a smartphone. I was like, okay, now you're making sense. Now, he's making sense stating that the latter demographic is much larger than the previous. He's saying that those with Facebook, those with mobile phones, those with smartphones, that's a much larger demographic than Xbox Live. But I can't necessarily agree with his first statement that Xbox Live's too small a demographic. It's a huge demographic. This guy, I mean, they're thinking big potatoes here, I guess. Big potatoes only. Big potatoes. And hey, if I were developing a game, I would not say Xbox Live demographic is too small. Now I'll probably say, well, we probably can't justify due to the size of the demographic, blah 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 blah. But to call that demographic small is just a little bit ambitious. But anyway. Basically, that statement confirms that they are going after the mobile demographic. The mobile Facebook social networking demographic, which is billions of dollars right now. So they're doing something right, guys. Zynga's huge. Big company. Lots of money coming in from their Farmville stuff and all that. It's a lot. But ask yourselves. I mean, if you're on the Xbox 360, let's discuss this a little bit. If you're on the Xbox 360, how many of you would buy Farmville? Seriously. Of those of you who own an Xbox 360, how many of you would consider buying Farmville, knowing that you can get it on your phone, knowing that you can get it on your computer, and it doesn't take any graphical power? You got to ask yourself that question. I don't know if a lot of you would. I don't know. But it's definitely something to think about. I mean, he might have a point. With the type of game they're building, with the type of microtransactions that they do, like, I want to say trillions. So many microtransactions, all these little purchases. I mean, with the 360, we buy DLC and we buy avatars and we buy little things like that, but not nearly as much as the Facebook crowd does. So think about that. The Facebook crowd will spend money on this stuff. So Zynga's, I don't know, guys. They start out saying these stupid things and then they start making sense with it. So, check it out, guys. We will talk about this one probably in the future. They're going to be coming up a lot. Zynga. Joystick.com. They got the details over there. Now we're going to talk about... Whoa, I went past the title. We're going to continue to talk about the Xbox 360. And something that I was happy to see come over to my console brethren. Torchlight. Now, I think this is one of the few games where I woke up in the morning, started playing it, and didn't stop until sundown. I think I spent an entire Saturday playing Torchlight. The game is so fun. If you haven't played it, buy it on the PC, buy it on your 360. It is so much fun. Now, apparently their Xbox Live Arcade launch was its best sales day ever. Now, what they've done is they've made it gamepad friendly because a lot of people didn't think it would translate over very well. I thought it would. I mean, these hack and slash dungeon crawlers usually do translate very well, especially if you don't have a handheld or a handful of abilities. I think we've all played, I can't remember the name, but Green Warrior Needs Food, that game. I can't remember the name of it. Played at the arcade, where you only had like 4 or 5 buttons. But apparently they had their best sales day ever. Best day ever. Congratulations to those guys at Remake, because we're highly anticipating Gauntlet. Thank you, Element Gaming. Yeah, Gauntlet. We're highly anticipating Torchlight 2. And I'm glad to see that they're getting some pretty good financial backing from Torchlight on the Xbox Live Arcade. Best sales day ever. Check it out, guys. Joystick.com has the details about this particular launch on Xbox Live Arcade. Now, this story made me triple take. I didn't believe it. I was like, I think those might have been my exact words in my head. I can't repeat them, though. Xbox Connect on the PS3? Well, I think sometimes I make a noise on the stream. People like, Bwana, what are you? I'm wrong. That's what it made me think of. You know, like a chocobo, like a drunk chocobo. Xbox Connect on the PS3, apparently. This guy. This video. He's demonstrating his early software mod, which can currently recognize basic gestures like quick pushing your hands toward the screen to activate the X button, as well as usual waving around for navigation. I couldn't believe this. I literally could not believe this. I was like, this is one of those things that you just never conceive in your brain. You just never go, I bet you somebody's going to have to connect and put it on the PS3. Right? High five, high five. No. Got that from that YouTube video. You guys got to watch this Minecraft parody about the guy who made a giant Mario. That was like the best series of no's I've ever seen in my life. He was like, no. Awesome. Anyway, back to this story. Xbox Connect, guys, it's just unbelievable. If this continues on, it's probably going to be one of the hacks of the year. I mean, this is just so crazy. I mean, even if you put the PlayStation Move on the 360, you'd be like, blah, 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 that's small fry, that's small potatoes. That's small potatoes. Small potatoes. Because we put the Xbox Connect on the PS3 and nobody's going to top that. We got hack of the year, boy. Telling you, this is huge. I don't know what Sony's going to do about it. Are they going to sue the guy? They're going to add him to the list. They're going to confiscate his Connect. You won't be needing this Connect sensor anymore. Break. Anyway, check it out, guys. Xbox Connect on the PS3. One of those amazing things that you just got to see to believe. Got a video over on Engadget. Check it out. Now, while we're on talking about the PS3, you may have recalled that I talked about a story a few shows ago about Infamous 2, where they're going to add a sandbox environment, or basically a Little Big Planet create mode, where you can create your own missions in Infamous 2. And we were all excited about that. It's very, very cool. They're going to give you all the tools that the developers use in Infamous 2 to build your own missions. And I really believe that I said this. I was like, pretty much this is like Little Big Planet. The play, create, share mindset. And this is what this article is confirming. That Sucker Punch, basically they were inspired by Little Big Planet's success. Because Little Big Planet was one of those titles that just didn't stop selling. It just... because there was constant influx of content. You know, you'd see them you'd see them, on sale at GameStop, but then people would buy them and pick them up. You know, there was Game of Year Edition. There was all this new DLC. People would buy it. People still play it. You know, it's just one of those games that has that lasting value. And I think Sucker Punch said, if we do what the guys over there at Media Molecule do. I don't know where these voices come from. Maybe I need to see a therapist, man. This is... if we look at what the guys at Media Molecule do, perhaps we can make money all year. And would only have to make one game every 25 years. Maybe. It said, we were encouraged by the wild success of Little Big Planet. Even though it's a different game and a completely different kind of game, it showed that it showed there was this thirst, that's kind of hard to say, that people had for having this creation or creation sharing experience. We thought the same desires would be present for Infamous players too. Very, very smart. I think it's very, very smart for them to go this route. I think a lot of other game developers should do this. And you know why? You know why us PC gamers scream at console gamers and say you don't know what you're missing? It's this type of stuff. And it's finally coming to consoles. Portal 2 is going to be doing it. Where you can play user created levels. I mean, this is the way to go. You know, this has me excited about the future of gaming. Because, you know, if you look at these other companies, it's like everybody's taking steps backwards. You know, you want new content, you got to pay for it. You want a new level, you got to buy a map pack. You want a new character or a new unlock, or you want a new costume, you got to buy DLC. You know, it's like nickel and diamond, left and right. But when you see stuff like this, they give you your tools. They say, hey, we're going to give you guys all these tools, make whatever, and then all of a sudden the game just blows up. Hey, you guys remember this game called Half-Life? That was really, 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 really good. And then some modders said, hey, this engine can do a whole lot. Let's make a shooter out of this called Counter-Strike. And oh yeah, Counter-Strike is still being played today. And this was years ago. It basically can make your game last for years. Team Fortress 2 is another one. Pre-Hat Fortress, but I know the Hat Fortress is kind of bothering me. But, you know, you got user-created levels, user-created content, user-created skins that just increase the game's life infinitely. Infinitely. It literally, the game just doesn't die. because the users are pumping content into it. Now, a big reason why games die is because people get bored of the content. And companies don't want to pour the resources in to create new content. But if your users are creating the content, all you got to do is sit back and relax and support the tool set and give them more tools every now and then watch the money roll in. I hope more companies do this. It's a very, very smart thing to do. Check it out, guys. PlayStationLifestyle.net has the details about Little Big Planet being a very, very big influencer of the guys at Sucker Punch and Infamous 2. Now, let's talk about the NGP. The next generation portable. It's going to be priced at $350 or $250? The NGP going to be priced $350 and $250. So apparently there's some information that came out that there's going to be 2 versions of the NGP. We don't know exactly what they're going to be. We assume that I don't know if this is solid information, but they're talking about like it is that one's going to have 3G and one's not. I don't know if Sony's confirmed that. If they have, I missed the story. But apparently, there's a rumor that the 3G version is going to be $350 and 2G, or not 2G, I'm sorry, the 3G list version is going to be $250. Now, I agree with that price. Actually, I think I was really hoping for $200, but that's like a big stretch. But I actually agree with these prices. I do. You know, given that if I were to buy NGP, I would get the low end. And I think $250 is a good price. And actually looking at, my first impressions have kind of been shattered. Looking at both the 3DS and the NGP, $250 is a good price for what they offer. Nintendo came with it. They're offering a lot of content. I wouldn't say content. They're offering a lot of functionality, I should say, on the 3DS that's going to basically make it worth that price. I saw a review on Engadget today about the 3DS, and they were showing the augmented reality functions where you just drop a card. You know, some stuff we've seen with the PlayStation Eye before. You drop a card and basically, boom, you look at it through a special camera. You can play a game in open space that nobody else can see but you on the 3DS. You know, it was very cool stuff. And the NGP is going to be doing the same thing. PlayStation Eye does it today. But $350, $250. If these are the actual prices, I think the NGP could do well. I really do. It's a very, very powerful device. Developers are loving it. Let's just hope it has a better launch title lineup than its 3DS counterpart. Because I think the 3DS launch titles are kind of weak. That's like the only ding I have against it now. I used to have a ding about the price, but then they said they're coming out with Netflix, blah, 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 all this other stuff later, which is kind of lame, but it's coming out anyway. But the launch titles could be a little bit better. So I think a lot of people are waiting on the 3DS. They're waiting for more titles to come out. I think when Zelda comes out, I think when Kid Icarus comes out, I think they're going to sell like hotcakes. I really do. When the first set of Pokemons, the big Pokemon titles hit it, I think people are just going to go, 3DS! And then there's that 3.5 hour battery life. You can see kids walking to school with a giant orange extension cord charging their 3DS while they're waiting at the bus stop and telling their dad, hey, Fido, take the extension cord back home. Because the battery is 3.5 hours. Oh, man. That battery life is horrible, man. On the portable device these days, you gotta get over 5 hours at least. But apparently that's on the max settings with all the 3D up and all the brightness up. So maybe you can squeeze 5 hours out of it if you turn stuff down. But NGP, guys, $350 and $250, very, very cool stuff. So check it out, guys. Over on /gear.com, they got the details over there. And finally, we're going to end today's stories, at least the ones I have to talk about, and talk about Homefront. Homefront. This is a very controversial topic out there right now. And I don't know why. Apparently, THQ, the makers of this game, their stock price tanked because of the initial reviews. And I saw a problem with that. I was like, oh. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But their stock price tanked because the game got less than favorable reviews, and a lot of people said it was a disappointment. You know, they had their hopes up so high from the first peak of it, and then when they actually got to play it, they were let down. Blah 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 blah. But THQ says that their first day sales were robust, and server capacity is being added as a result. So it's always good to add servers. It's not good to take away servers. So apparently they didn't have enough servers, so they added more. And also there was another story today that it was top of the UK charts, Homefront. I bought the game. I had no interest in it. I'm telling you, I had almost no knowledge or interest in Homefront prior to like the day of the launch or the day before the launch, and I was watching some Justin.tv live streams. I was watching Ulead play, and it sparked interest. I was like, wow, that actually looks fun. I knew nothing about it, and I saw the multiplayer, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this game solely based on what I see from the multiplayer, and I was happy with the gameplay. Now it does have problems. On the PC version, there are some performance issues that are being worked through, very similar to what we saw with Black Ops, which is very, very annoying. But the game is just fun. I mean, it's one of those games that I know I'm going to be playing longer than, probably going to be playing it longer than Medal of Honor, that's for sure. Will I be playing it longer than Black Ops? I don't know. I don't play Black Ops anymore, so. But Homefront is a very, very good game, guys. And the thing is, this is why I had a problem with the stock price tanking. A lot of these developers that review these games, you know, they play the single player, you know, they do the analysis. They're very smart guys. But when it gets to the multiplayer, think about it. Just think about it for a second. They're playing the game before any of us have it. They get a review copy. You know, they might get some special service to play with the developers or something like that. They don't get a whole lot of the multiplayer experience. And what we've seen, what we saw on a majority of the reviews is that they said the single player was very bad. And like I said, I had zero interest in single player. I bought the game for multiplayer. And they said multiplayer was very good. But the game got very, very low marks based on single player. And when you think about it, when a gamer buys a game like this, not every gamer, but a vast majority of gamers that buy these games are gonna be sinking hours into multiplayer. And if I were reviewing a game that had a multiplayer component, I would focus heavily on the multiplayer, simply because that's where a majority of gamers are gonna be spending their time. That's the sole reason. That's where people are going to invest the time. They're going to be leveling up. They're going to be playing all the levels, all the different maps. They're going to be going through all the different classes, all the different guns. Once you play the single player, you probably won't touch it forever. Once you finish it, you're not going to touch it again. You know, with these shooters. And that's a sad thing, you know, it shouldn't be that way. But the truth of the matter is, these games are being developed with multiplayer in mind. They're being developed with multiplayer in mind. I mean, if you look at this game and what it offers and what it does, you look at the multiplayer and you see somebody play, you're like, this got bad reviews? I'm telling you, the game is fun. And I was very sad to see that their stock price tanked based on what I think to be incomplete and inaccurate reviews. That's just that's a very opinionated statement, but I think they were incomplete and inaccurate. Because the game does have problems. It does have dings. I think somebody asked me on not asked me, but they put up a post on the Steam forum that says, "What's your honest opinion?" And they wanted to know, you know, what you thought out of, 1 out of 10. And I told them that I thought it was a 7 because of the bugs. I said because of the performance issues in multiplayer. I hadn't touched single player now. Because of the performance issues in multiplayer and because of some little quirks here and there, I give it a 7. But if I didn't have those issues, this game would easily be an 8 or 8.5 out of 10 for me. And that's really good for Bwana, guys. That's really good for me. It's a lot of fun. I'm telling you, man. This is pure fun. And, it rewards players in a different way. It's not, people think it's a COD knockoff. People think it's a Battlefield knockoff. No. You got to stop thinking like that, guys. And give Homefront a try if you haven't already. But the first sales were robust. It's selling. Despite the reviews, it's selling. And they're happy with the sales. With 375,000 in a day. I'm pretty sure it sold well in the UK and Europe when it came out. Because it was top of the sales charts. So they're happy. And they're adding more servers. Dedicated servers. So, well, it's sad to see that. And I disagree with that. Every first-person shooter is not a COD knockoff. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. The thing that COD brought was perks to the shooters. That was the big thing that it brought. It was like these perks. And when you go back to Battlefield 2, Battlefield 2 had perks as well. Battlefield 2 had points. Battlefield 2 had rewards. Battlefield 2 had a level progression system. Nobody goes back that far, though. They always go back to COD 4. Because COD 4 had that arcadey feel to it. It had the flashing scoreboards. It put it in your face. And I really don't think every shooter out now is a COD knockoff. I think a lot of them are, but I don't think every shooter is. Like Medal of Honor tried to be like COD. They even mentioned it. They were trying to be better than COD. And they were saying that this is going to redefine the shooter, and it didn't. But if you look at how Homefront does battle points, you get rewarded for kills and stuff, and it stacks after you die. So you don't have to rely on streaks, and I'm telling you, to me that's a huge difference because it doesn't promote camping as much as these other games. Because you get rewarded for not dying in these other games. You get big time rewards. Whereas you still get rewarded in Homefront if you do die. If you rush a base 20 times and die every time, you will get kill streaks. You will get these battle points, they will add up, and then you could use the airstrikes and stuff. And I think a lot of players like that because it doesn't promote camping. It doesn't promote. And I don't know. I liked it. And you don't have to fight over vehicles. Vehicles, you have to earn the vehicles. Whereas in Battlefield, the problems that we saw, even in Battlefield 2, the problems that we saw were people were camping the stupid helicopters and the jets. Half the team would be camping the jets. Nobody's capturing the point. Everybody's camping the tanks. Everybody's camping the jets. I'm like, go! Oh, man. And I'm so happy that they basically solved that problem. They did. You have to earn your tanks. You have to earn your vehicles. You can't just wait for it to pop up and then everybody jump for the jet. Everybody wait for the jet to spawn. So, all right, guys, we're going to end it there. And we're going to go to our next segment where we talk about your stories.
Tune in to all things Bwana throughout the week on live.bwana.tv and on justin.tv/Bwana.
Okay, so we're going to move to the next segment of our show where we take submissions from you guys. And we do have a forum post up right now where you guys could post links. And I already see enough links. Thank you guys for posting all these links. And we're going to take the first one from Nicholas Fun Stuff. You guys may have saw Nicholas in one of my Minecraft videos. You guys were making fun of him too. Because I think it was the... what was it? It was the... I think it was the What's Up video. It was like, what's up? What's up? That video? Nicholas Pop, I think he said, this lag is just nuts. And everybody was just going nuts in the video. They were like, oh, this lag is just nuts. So Nicholas is kind of famous for that video. All right, so yeah, this is a cool story that Minecraft is going to be adding wolves. Let's talk about that first thing first. And Jeb put up a video. I think it was Jeb that put up the video. Yeah, here it is. I'm not going to play it. I can't play it. And basically, you're going to have these companions in Minecraft now. And they're going to be roaming out out and about, just wolves out and about, and you have to tame them. Otherwise, I think they'll attack. And it's kind of cute. If you watch the video, the way you tame the wolf is that you hold up a piece of pork, and he goes, "Er," and then he falls in love with you. You see the little hearts come up, and he's yours. He follows you around, and you can just go around doing that across the entire world, and have a wolf pack following you. And it's kind of cute. If you watch it, he has like a whole bunch of... And what's cool is that they'll attack when you attack. And I don't know if they're going to be defensive. I didn't see any footage on that. Like if a skeleton hits you, will they go hit the skeleton? They probably will. It's probably going to be based on threat. So it's going to be a very, very cool addition to the game with wolves. And also there's going to be achievements according to this article. I think this is from a while ago. Notch mentioned that he was going to be talking about achievements. Okay, he says in this quote that achievements will not be chores like cut down 10,000 trees or ride a pig off a cliff. Oh, but rather challenges like ride a pig off a cliff. Stats, however, will be used to keep track of how many trees you've cut down. Blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. Just keep in mind that because you can design your own levels and run your own servers, people will be able to cheat with achievements and stats. So, yeah, he's got to be careful how you do the stats because people's like, okay, we have a stats achievement server just like in TF2 where people build. He's got a point where if you can design your own levels, you can basically hack and cheat. Not hack, but you can cheat and get the achievements that way. And TF2, you see it today. You see achievement servers where people craft levels just so you can get achievements. So yeah, very, very cool. And thanks Hypnomatic that they will be attacking mobs. Very, very cool. Okay, thanks Nicholas. Fun stuff. This lag is just nuts. All right, River City Ransom 2 is happening according to FishTwit. Let's check that out on 1UP. And let's see here. Let's make this a big R. River City Ransom. You know, when I see this game, I think about a video I saw on newgrounds.com. I had zero interest. I didn't have that much interest in River City Ransom until I saw this video on Newgrounds, which did a remix of the Daft Punk song "Harder, Faster, Better, Stronger." And if you guys haven't seen it, look it up. I'll tell you, man, it has this little guy, this River City Ransom guy, dancing to the Daft Punk song. And I'm telling you, that's where I know the guy. Every time I see him, I don't think about River City Ransom. I think about Daft Punk. Oh, man. But anyway, the sequel, apparently, River City Ransom 2 is going to be coming to consoles in Japan this summer. New game will be out on unspecified consoles in Japan, where it is known as Downtown Neketsu Monogatari 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Downtown Neketsu. Gotta pronounce it with Japanese. Neketsu Monogatari. Okay. And it'll be followed by online-enabled PC version in 2012. It's been worked by some of the original team from Technos that made the first game, along with certain core players who brought it up to help with development. The original game was released in 1989 for the NES in North America in 1990. And it is on the Wii Virtual Console, so if you want to check it out, you can download it there. So thanks, FishTwit. River City Ransom 2 is finally happening. Japan first, though. Okay, we are going to go to Endless, who's a Jedi Knight on our forum. PlayStation phone US launch may be near, according to Android devs' game listings. Let's check that out. PlayStation phone US launch may be near. We knew about this. The Xperia Play, that's the name of it. Saw a lot of it at the GDC, I think. I think that's where they talked about it. I don't remember. My memory's gone. But apparently, this developer, this Android developer, Polarbit, independent developer Polarbit, has already updated 2 of its games to be compatible with the device. It says that Reckless Racing for Android and Raging Thunder 2 contain the phrase optimized for the Xperia Play. Now, in case you guys don't know, Xperia is going to be running the Android operating system. It's not going to be running iOS. It's not going to be running some Sony variant of some crazy wacky system. It is going to be running Android, so this may be very legitimate information. If the developers are already listing games, it may be coming sooner than we think as supporting this device. Sony has already promised dozens of games, PS1 classics, blah, 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 blah. It's going to have the SDK, all these different things that they came out with on the Xperia, which is the otherwise known as the PlayStation phone. So that may be coming to the US soon, according to GamersRadar.com. Thanks for the link. Endless. Okay, I gotta say this next headline made me chuckle. Mega KB says that his posted the link says that PCs have 10 times console horsepower according to AMD. I chuckled at that headline. I'm like, duh. So, I gotta find a quote here. PCs aren't just a bit more powerful than PS3 and Xbox 360. They're up to 10 times more powerful. That's 10 times. So why aren't PC games 10 times their console equivalents? Because of Windows meddling DirectX API interface. That's why. You guys remember my rant last week about DirectX and how they sacrificed backwards compatibility to improve? Yeah, case in point. It's funny. We often have at least 10 times as much horsepower as an Xbox 360 or a PS3 in a high-end graphics card. Yet, it's very clear that games don't look 10 times as good. He's got a very good point there. To a significant extent, that's because one way or another, for good reasons, good reasons and bad, mostly good, DirectX is getting in the way. Because DirectX, think about it, guys. Where's Microsoft getting their money from in gaming? Games from Windows is like a stepchild. I certainly hear, make this API go away, in my conversations with game developers. DirectX is made by Microsoft. To run a game on Windows, the most popular PC operating system around, you need to use DirectX. In simple terms, it's DirectX that controls what your graphics card can do. So he goes on and says, if we drop the API, then people can really render everything that they can imagine, not what they can... the words are cut off. Let me make it smaller then. Not what they can see, and we'll probably see more visual innovation, that kind of stuff. I agree, to a certain extent. The Xbox 360 supports DirectX 9. PS3 doesn't use DirectX, what with it being a Microsoft technology. And the most current version of DirectX is 11. So guys. I think last week we talked about, what's his name? John Carmack saying that DirectX is a better API than OpenGL because it does away with old, I want to say old API calls. It just sacrifices backwards compatibility so that it can move ahead in technology. And this article is stating that that's not actually working. Because when you look at DirectX 11 games, this AMD developer has a point. When you look at DirectX 11 games versus DirectX 9 games, they don't look as better as, the hardware difference. That's his point. The hardware difference is the Grand Canyon, yet the graphics look about a river's width wide. It's like the proportions aren't the same. They're vastly off, and they're out of proportion. That's what he's saying, and I agree to a certain extent. I do. I can't really pinpoint DirectX specifically. I do know I don't like how DirectX does things. But I can't pinpoint DirectX as being the sole cause of this, because a lot of developers these days they swing towards the consoles. They basically just say, "Hey, that's gonna be our primary platform because that's where the easy money is, and we have easy developer tools. We can pump out 5 games, 5 years, make a ton of revenue, and still have a job." You know. That's the way a lot of companies think. And unfortunately, you know, the innovation just dies as a result of trying to stay alive. And that's why we're kind of making... You guys notice that there's a shift back towards indie gamers now. Because that's where the innovation has gone back to. You know, the big companies had the innovation torch for a while, and they dropped it to say, okay, we just want to make money. And then the indie developers came and said, well, we'll innovate. And then all the PC gamers threw their money at indie gamers, and Minecraft is selling millions and millions and millions with a very simple premise but an innovative concept. So there you go. PCs have 10 times console horsepower by AMD. Like I said, I can't exactly agree that DirectX is the cause, but it's not helping. Definitely not helping at all. Thanks for the story, Mega KB. Mega KB, like it. Next story is ZZ Wings. Oh yeah, I think this is the vote, right, for the vote for Developer Showdown. And apparently Minecraft, let's check this out. Look at the bracket here on the left side. The Mojang went up against Nintendo. I think these people are voting for these companies, and they beat Nintendo. And the second round, they beat Namco Bandai. And now they're up against Epic Games, and they'll go against the winner of Obsidian and Rockstar North. And if you look at the other trees over here, we got Valve left, Relic, Game Freak, Capcom, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Montreal, Bungie, and Bungie and BioWare are going against it? Wow. This is actually pretty cool. I might participate in this. Basically, you can vote on the different gaming companies to get through this tournament, and I guess they're taking it's basically a take on March Madness and the basketball brackets. They're going to do it with gaming companies, so it's very, very cool. All right, so check it out, guys. This is sponsored by Alienware Escapist Magazine. Mojang is making it. I think this is round of 64, 32, and they're in the Sweet 16, as we say, in March Madness. Thanks for the link, ZZ Wings. All right, Emrindell says that Microsoft's vision for the future of game for Windows Live leaked, apparently. And wow, Microsoft WGX internal video. That looks like an Xbox Live avatar. Okay. Spotted via Reddit. By the way, guys, we do have a Reddit community. If you're part of our forum, it's in the, I think it's a general chit-chat session. Just put up a new YouTube banner. So if you're on my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel. You'll see a Reddit link at the top right. We're on Reddit now. The video above delivers the vision of a terrifying future of chirpy avatars and 160 ms point dresses. They don't know how to spell pwn, apparently. I don't even... I hope this video is about 2 years old. The companies they're looking at court with this microtransaction-enabled future, blah, 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 blah. So apparently it's going to be a lot of microtransactions in it. And if you're going to try to talk to PC gamers, spelling pwn right is really important. How did they spell pwn? I can't watch it on the stream. I wonder how they spelled pwn. Oh, man. And the comments are not very good. It says, make me feel sick about how wrong a company can get things. This is how Microsoft sees the future of games for Windows Live. And you know what? What does this remind you of? What was the story we talked about? Zynga. Right? Remember we talked about Zynga? And how they said that the Xbox Live demographic is too small? and how they're targeting people on mobile devices and on Facebook. This looks like a Farmville interface. You're not buying seeds, you're buying a dress. The future of games is Zynga. No. Greetings, world. I am Zynga. We are the new masters of your PC game. No. No. Dressville. I like it. Nice story, but depressing. But you know what, guys? I never really liked games for Windows. My first foray with it, I think, was Gears of War on Windows. I reviewed it for Chris Perillo's channel, and I had to get involved in games for Windows, and I was like, oh man, it's like walking into I don't know, a public bathroom at the middle of a WWE festival. What is this? You know, I was just like, what is all this? And it was just, ugh. Didn't like it at all. Thank you, Emrandell. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And I think that is all of our links. It is. Thanks, guys, for coming by tonight. And it is, guess what time it is? It is title time. Title time. Title time. Title. What are we gonna do for a title tonight? Title. All is not quiet on the home front. Ooh, that's pretty funny. Title. Bwana, bashing Blizzard brings best. I can't say that. Title. I wasn't here in time. No, you fail. Half-Life may get a new life. That's cute. Everything old Republic is new again. I like it. Are pirates stealing Assassin's Creed soundtrack? I like it. 1.5 million UB pirates can't be wrong. I like it. Title, Half-Life Remake, New Life or Dead Life. I like it. Microsoft dances with wolves. I like it. First person Mario making 1.5 million Crytek. I like it. Zynga, the king of games. I like it. Crytek cries havoc for the Cry engine. Don't Crytek, it's gonna be free. Bashing games make 1.5 million steamy. Valve wants you to get a Half-Life. Zynga. It's too many good titles. Too many titles. Oh my goodness. Where did I leave off? Okay, don't Crytek. Engine is gonna be free. EA bets. Old Republic for the win. Steam guards the home for. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's good. Zynga took my mother. You can't have my PC. I like it. Crisis on Infinite mods. Crisis 2 PC press starts to continue. Wow, these are good. Too many titles. Valve makes 1.5 million. Release Steam. Microsoft dresses up Windows Live. I like it. Gizzards and Blizzard. Diablo 3 Blizzard could bury WoW. Mojang for the champion. What's beta? I can't even keep up. Ubisoft Rock Pirates music. Oh my goodness. Ubisoft Rock. I get it. Zynga, Old Republic, Crytek, freedom is not free. Blizzard turning to cannibalism. Oh man. Prepare your torchlights. Blizzards are coming. Xbox connects to PS3. Oh man. Infamous 2 gets a little inspiration. Ah, that's good. Oh, these are all great. Wow. I really can't decide. I can't decide. Oh my goodness. Okay, we gotta decide. Let's decide here. Minecraft Dances with Wolves. I like that one a lot. Let me get a notepad here. Alright, Fish Twit. I'm only going to have to take one of yours because I think that's going to be the one that I'm going to take from you. Alright, so that's Fish Twits. This is so many good ones. Well, I might change my mind. We'll see. Alright. Oh, man. Title of Fish. Little Infamous 2 on the Big Planet. Sit Ubisoft sit. That's funny. Microsoft Mario says no to PS3 Connect. Oh man, Steam guards the Homefront. I gotta decide between those two with Fish Twit. There was one Jared Blaze did and Big Mac but that I really liked. I can't find them. I think it was. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to read through this very, very fast. There it is. No, that's not it. There it is. Infamous 2 gets a little inspiration. That's a great title. Let's see. I think I'm gonna throw up a poll. What was Link 64's? Oh, that one. There was one by the Big MacBook and somebody else. Oh, Zynga took my mother. You can't have my PC. Alright, I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna put them in a poll here. I thought somebody did something with Crytek. Other than Jared Blaze. That was Fish Twit. Man, you guys have some good titles. Sorry guys, I'm going as fast as I can. Okay. I'm not going to put up a poll because we're running out of time. I forgot. All of this is going to be recorded. So I'm going to pick from these 4. Out of these 4, which ones do you guys like the best? Which one do you guys like the best out of these 4? These are my 4 favorites so far. Infamous 2. Yeah, good idea. Put a number up. Let me put a number up here. So I'm seeing a lot of 4s. Infamous 2, the first one. Okay. Alright, 4 it is. I think that was Big MacBook, right? The title is Zynga Took My Mother, Can't Have My PC. I kind of shrunk it down so it wouldn't be too long. Congratulations, Big MacBook. I think it was you. You win the title for today. Alright, guys. On that note, that will conclude Game Chat with Bwana, episode 13. I want to thank everybody for coming by. We do this every Monday, or at least we try to, every Monday night at around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you can come over to live.bwana.tv or justin.tv/Bwana, where you can join in on a discussion. Sign up for our forums at bwana.tv/forums so you can contribute to the show. You can post your own links. Join our Reddit community. We just created that today. You can join our Reddit community. And also, you can come by and you can follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Bwana. Or you can follow me at Justin.tv. I'm not sorry, Twitter.com/Bwana Live. If you follow Bwana Live, you'll be notified on Twitter when I go live. And I play video games. I just go live and play video games. Sometimes I'll just stream myself during the day while I work with no audio. You just watch me plow my head into my day job. Excuse me. And I also want you guys to check out my new backdrop. Got this for my birthday. I want to thank my lovely wife for getting me these stick-on Mario decals. I have replaced the big giant Bwana head with these Mario decals. And we also have a picture of that on Twitter as well. Alright, guys. Thank you for coming by. Game Chat with Bwana. That concludes episode 13. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.